Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if this is the first time of you watching, I would like to say a big welcome to you. Now I'm just going to talk you through how I clean my little nursery for my baby giant African snails. Now I'll try and clean it every fortnight. And as you can see, the lid's quite dirty because they've been climbing up it. And I start by clearing off all the food. Now I tend to feed my snails every other day. I tend to give the put the food in every other day, so I just make sure as I'm cleaning it, I'm not taking out any snails with it. Now, small as they are great eaters, I'll tell you that. I had some cleaning crew in this tank, but I don't know where they've disappeared to. Probably when I cleaned them, they kind of I clean them out too. And I also like to put my snails, just take them out gently. And as you can see, they're various sizes. These are what I've got left over. I think these are about 4 months old, these big ones. There you have that. Just take it off gently. The little ones are slightly younger than the big ones, obviously. Oops. That is an aubergine, which I thought was a snail. Ha ha ha. Got a tiny little one here. I found I don't really have problems putting both the big and the small snails together. They seem to do well. And they don't attack each other. What I mean attack each other, they don't eat each other's. Some people complain about them eating each other's snails. Well, I make sure that there's a good amount of calcium in my enclosure, so they don't. I did never have that problem. Make sure that there's nothing else left in there. So I'm going to put these down gently and safely on the floor, because I don't really trust myself. Not that I don't trust myself, I don't want them falling off. So I'm going to clean all this. What I tend to do is these ones I'll put there and I'll recycle those. I'll show you how. If you look at them, I haven't done a video of it, and you will see how to do it. Now what I've noticed in this enclosure is that there's always water. It always gets waterlogged. So I have my own way of dealing with that. Like I said, this is my first time of rearing them, so I am just learning as I'm going along. If you think that what I'm doing is not right, just please drop me a message to correct me. I'm just trying to find out what works for my snails against the myths and everything. I like to leave some of the food rotting inside here, especially the leaves, the green ones. Not the food itself, but sometimes I like to leave some of the cabbage or lettuce that I've left in there. Now, there's something that I usually do when I do this. I scoop everything to one side. It does smell a little bit. And a lot of the moisture that I get is because the lid's closed. I have never put water in. When I say water, I've never put like a cup of water or anything there, or like not a cup of water, like a saucepan of water or anything like that there. I've never done that for them. So what I do now is I squeeze out as much of the moisture as I can. Should have done that the other way. I'm bringing that forward a little bit so that you can see me. I've done that with the older snails, no problems at all. I've had no problems with this method at all. And don't forget, the soil itself that the snails actually have or have been in has some friendly bacteria. Which is useful for them or beneficial for them. So you changing the soil every, some people say they change it every month. I don't agree with that. So I just squeeze out the moisture. With the baby ones, it's quite easy because you are not, you know that there's no eggs there. So I think this is why I've lost a lot of my cleaning crew, because I squeeze. And I just spread it around. It's not going to be enough sand that I want it to be, or soil, should have said. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of the soil, my sterilized oil, and my my cocoa fiber. This is sterile soil, so I'll just sprinkle some of it. And also I am going to, this is cocoa fibre that I've already prepared. I like to prepare my cocoa fibre and then just dry them. Less hassle for me. So I've just put 2 of that on it. And what I tend to do is I just mix the 2 together. Don't forget the soil and the cocoa fibre are dry, so I just mix them together. Give it a nice mix. My nice mix, so everything's mixed together. Later on I'll be putting some dry leaves, if I can find some leaves. And if you look, hear that sound? It is moist, but not too soggy like we had the other time. And I'll just prepare it for the snails. I don't tend to wipe down the sides of my tank because they're going to get dirty again by the snails, so it's not that there's anything wrong with it, but just that's just a me thing. Okay, I've mixed it thoroughly, and I think I've got about quite a fair amount here inside it. The snails need enough so that if they want to hide themselves inside, they can have, they've got enough. And since I've mixed both the sterile soil and the cocoa fibre, that kind of swampy smell that was there has actually disappeared. Now I'm going to prepare them. I'm going to prepare the tank and put some food in it. Now some of you know that I'm not a fan of putting things in plates or anything, or containers for the snails. I just like them to mimic what they do in the wild. So I tend to sprinkle things on the soil. Now the thing I found out with the smaller snails, because you're the one that's breeding them from the day that they've hatched, you kind of how can I put it, you can actually get them to eat certain things. unlike the ones that are already fully matured when you buy them, they've been fed with certain things and they're used to those things, and when they come to you they expect those certain things. Now I'm going to put these there, they love these, and I'm going to prepare mix for them. Just put in my special mix. This is a calcium rich mix that I've prepared myself. And I've noticed that my snails love it. So I like to scatter my food around in the tank. People have their own ways of doing it, but this what works for me. And also I like putting this lettuce right in the middle as a focal point for them. Sounds funny, doesn't it? The meeting place for them. So they come and they eat this. And I'll just sprinkle a bit of the feed on top of it. I found this growing, so I'll just plant it. I know it's not going to last. Just going to plant it in the corner over here. And that's basically how I feed my snails. And I'll return them back into their tank. And I like to cover it and finish it off with covering the snails with some leaves. And I always make sure there's a good supply of calcium. Put these around. And these are the two that I said I was going to put back, which I'll put back. And I also make sure that my cuttlebone, as one of my subscribers did point out, you make sure that the curvy part is facing them. And that is how I clean and out my tanks for the baby snails. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe so you'll be one of the first to know when I do make another video and I upload it. Thanks for watching. Bye.